Good morning, Morning Musings by Melinda. Hey, thanks for everybody who joined us yesterday on Sunday Mornings with Melinda, where we did an hour and a half of Facebook readings. If you didn't catch the show, if you go back and watch the show and share it, it really helps people understand how spirit works and how readings work, not where somebody's sitting up and saying, oh, I see a man and he's this and that, so that somebody calls in and says that fits me, and then they kind of make that mold fit them, but rather where people are calling and we get exact information as they're calling in. And I think there's a big difference in that to show how spirituality really works. But something happened yesterday while I was doing Sunday mornings that broke my heart and hurt my soul. And I wanted to talk to you about how spirit really talks today so that there would be clarification. And what happened is that someone wrote in and said that I had said that she was violated when she was a child and that it hurt her soul. And oh my gosh, you guys, it just feels so yucky to me, because never in a million years would I ever hurt anyone, ever. And violation isn't a word that I used. And I wrote back to her and said it's not a word that I use because it's not a word that spirit uses. And I said spirit usually says the word molest. And I want to talk to you about how spirit talks today, because I think it's really, really important. So she wrote back, God love her. What an honest person. I must tell you that I don't remember her by name, even if it was a reading just even last week. I don't remember people by name. And I so apologize for that, because I know the time together is important and it's special. But I do so many readings and I talk to so many different people, and I do life after life demonstrations, and I do them in person, and I do them on the phone, and I do them on the internet. So it's impossible for me to keep it straight. But I do know how spirit works, and I do know that I get really upset when other psychic mediums have said something to somebody that's been really hurtful to them, like that time that woman in California told me a psychic medium said that her daughter was going to pass away when she was 17 in a car accident and her daughter was only 14. Wow, what a burden. Or the time that I had a client that told me that a psychic medium had told her that her loved one that passed away was sorry he cheated on her, which I wasn't a bit in awareness that he had cheated on her. Sorry, something fell down on my phone and it was like bang. Anyway, I really wanted to talk to you about how spirit works. So they use the word molest. When somebody has an issue from childhood that's interfering in adulthood, meaning that the vibrational frequency is caught through the chakra system, which is something I will be teaching tomorrow night in Introduction of Spirituality and Psychic Awareness really clearly. But what happens is that vibrational frequency causes in adulthood repetitive patterns that are hurtful to somebody. So when I'm giving a reading, if spirit says that, they are saying that to help a person understand that their pain body is still interfering in what's happening in their adult life. And the word molest does not always mean sexual. And neither does the word violate, by the way, because I looked them both up. But molest can be disturbs, hostile intentions, and with an injurious effect. So you can molest somebody spiritually if you force them to live in a cult, for example. You can molest somebody physically if you are slamming them up against the wall all the time, or choking them, or hitting them, or beating them with a belt. You can molest somebody mentally when you're calling them names and putting them down constantly. And you can molest somebody emotionally when you're gaslighting them and fooling them. And believe it or not, people do those to children. So the reason that spirit uses that word is because it comes from a Latin word that actually means burdensome or annoying. Now, normally when I'm with somebody, if that word comes up, they will say to me, well, I don't feel like I was being molested, if they've misunderstood that it might have been sexual in its nature. And I take time to clarify what I just clarified with you. So, there's different ways that spirit works, and sometimes people may take things a certain way when they're not meant to. Unfortunately, we all do that. So I'm just doing a public apology to the young lady where I must have inadvertently hurt her to her core and say, no, don't be hurt at your soul, at your core. That was Spirit's way of trying to help you understand that in your pain body there might be something to clear. That was their way of helping you. That's how Spirit speaks. They speak in a way in which they want to help you or clarify something in your life or move energy in some form or fashion that's a release. Never to harm, never to hurt. And by the way, the word violate, which was a word that she used, which is understandable, she felt violated, means to dishonor, to fail to observe, to injure or invade. So she must have truly felt that my words were violating to her because we didn't talk further about it and what the clarification was. So I just want to clear that up this morning and to tell you that tomorrow night's class is full, but we have other classes that there's still some time available. If you miss a class after you've signed up for it, you can always go back and look at it again. You just won't be able to participate in it. And the participation is why I kept the classes at a minimum so that I could actually talk to each person when we have these kinds of things come up. So anyhow, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry to the young lady and to say that Spirit speaks in words sometimes that are very, very precise, but we put nuances of meaning on them that may not necessarily be true. And if you didn't watch yesterday's video, would you go back and watch it and share it? I really think it's important for people to understand how Spirit really works. I know it's 90 minutes out of your time and that you can't participate, but it's really nice to see how other people respond and react to getting some help and that kind of thing. So anyways, happy Monday. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.